Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today, as I promised in my last video, I'm going to be bringing you a brand new video, Let's Talk Boxing. Just exactly what it says in the tin. I'll be going over some YouTube boxing, maybe some UFC and big fights from around the world. Hope you guys enjoy. Starting off with YouTube boxing, I think this is the most relevant topic at the minute. Ben Askren versus Jake Paul. The press conference is going live all over the internet. It was going viral. You know, the face-to-face, Ben put his hand on Jake's face. Jake hit him, slapped him in the bum. Slapped him in the belly and pushed him, and I think by body language Ben was completely unfazed, which kind of shifts my argument a bit. I kind of thought, you know, Vidal said that Ben doesn't get out of the first round. I don't know, I don't really agree with it. I think that the fight definitely lasts past the fifth, in my opinion. It'll either be stopped in the 7th or 8th, or it'll go to points. That's how I see the fight going, really. We obviously know Ben isn't going to carry any mad boxing IQ. He's not going to be throwing to the body. He's not going to be looking for uppercuts or anything like that. Where Jake will probably look the better boxer and probably the more sleek. But Ben, he has got a chin. He's got fitness. He is a fighter. You know, he's been hit with a 4-ounce UFC glove by Robbie Lawler relentlessly, who is far more powerful than Jake, hits harder and is far bigger. So you kind of think that if Ben Askren can last that and then submitted Robbie Lawler, then surely he can withstand a pressure from Jake Paul, even 4, 5, 6, 7 rounds. I think, you know, it definitely goes past. He just doesn't respect Jake at all, which he will get into that ring being like, if this man hits me, it's not going to do anything, which sometimes could be the wrong approach. You know, he could get caught with a really big shot and be like, oh my days, like what's happened? And then the fight could be over within 10 seconds, just as we saw in the Nate Robinson fight. But you can't take Jake's win over Nate Robinson. Yes, it was an amazing knockout, but Nate had 4 months boxing experience, bum rushed him with his hands up here and his chin wide open, and had never sparred in his life. So obviously he hadn't taken the right training before that to go into that fight. And with the Anderson Gibb, he dropped him, but he didn't KO him. He didn't flatline him like he did with Nate Robinson. Yes, he hit him with good shots. He showed good composure, but he won't do either of those to Ben Askren. Ben Askren is going to go in there and he knows he needs to survive. He predicted a 7th round knockout, or a 7th round TKO. It was a 7th round stoppage, yes, he said, not a TKO or a knockout. So he knows this is not going to be a boxing clinic. He isn't going to go in and blast him. He is going to sit there for about 5 rounds and just survive. He's going to go in, he's going to jab, he's going to clinch. I think Jake, I'm not sure. We haven't really seen Jake go into the later rounds. We saw him 5th round against Deji, but I think that was like 2.5 years ago, so we can't really judge that. We'll have to see how his cardio holds up. I'm pretty sure the training he's done, his cardio will be fine. He will last, he'll not get tired, but he may end up punching himself out. He may end up, you know, go in and be like, you know what, I've got all this, I'm finally the main event, I've got all these eyes on me, I need to go out and I need to get him out in 3. So he may end up punching himself out. He could get caught. Ben doesn't carry a lot of power. We don't know if he carries a lot of power. He doesn't carry a lot of boxing IQ anyway. So this will be a slugfest. This will be probably a very sloppy fight. Maybe shades of what KSI has to come. You know, he comes in, he'll have super cardio, super chin, and go in and just swing. Maybe that's what KSI will bring to the table with Jake at some point as well. But I see this fight maybe ending. I think Jake, if he's gonna win it, he'll win it within the points. I don't see Ben stopping Jake. I see Jake maybe finishing in the 7th or 8th, but I'm gonna go Jake Paul via decision. That's my prediction for the fight. Leave your predictions down below. But yeah, I just think Ben's just chin, his physique, you know, he can has footwork. I'll insert some clips. I've been watching them all over the place. He has footwork. He has a jab and a right hand, and he's got the clinch. So I think he has what it takes to go 8 rounds, but he doesn't have what it takes to knock him out. No way. So I'm going for a Jake Paul decision. Moving on to big action Saturday night, Dillian Whyte versus Alexander Povetkin. He got the job done. My prediction for the fight really was, I think it maybe gone really late. I thought Dillian did actually the opposite to what I would have thought. I thought he would have stuck to the jab, kept his distance, thrown in a couple of left hooks, thrown in right hand, just keep it simple. Maybe get a points decision or maybe look for a late stoppage. He did the complete opposite. He went in there and he was going in there as if, you know, it was the roles were reversed, as if he had won the first fight and he was going in there and smoking him. I was watching it and I watched it a couple of times back on YouTube, and I'm so surprised at how he went in, the manner he went in. It looked like he disregarded Povetkin's power altogether. He was going in, he was throwing wild big left hooks, throwing big right haymakers, but he got the job done. He got it done in the 5th. Good left hand, good right hand to start him off with. I actually didn't think that was in Dillian's locker, and the left hook to finish it was game over. Where does Dillian Whyte go from here? He's got the redemption story. He can move on now. I think I would love to see a fight with either Andre Ruiz or Deontay Wilder. I think Whyte versus Wilder would be such a good matchup. I think it'd be so close. It's both men that carry power. I think Wilder would maybe take a different approach. He wouldn't maybe look for the knockout due to how hard Whyte hits. But then Whyte, he knows, would he just take the same approach as Povetkin and just go for it? I really don't know. I think once the fight get announced, I'll probably think about it a bit more. The Andy Ruiz fight as well, I think both very simple matchups. I think Andy Ruiz is probably the better technical boxer. Both carry a good bit of power. I think Dillian will once again go in and just try and blast him. I think that's what he's going to do with all his fights. But I really would love to see Dillian get a title opportunity, whether it's Tyson Fury, whether it's Joshua, whether, it's probably Tyson Fury, seeing as he is the interim champ at the minute. But I would love to see maybe a unification bout afterwards, Dillian getting a shot, but he really, really needs a title shot. I think he's been looking one for the last 3 years, so maybe now that he's got Povetkin out of the way, he can move on now. But yeah, I would love to see Dillian get a title shot. I think he deserves it after all he's been through. So yeah, it'd be nice to see a unification bout. But speaking of the unification bout, Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua. Apparently there's been a 2-fight deal agreed, but nothing's been set in stone. There's been no venues, been no contract signings or anything. And Eddie Hearn hasn't spoken about it, and apparently Tyson Fury has given up on the idea together and he's drinking 12 pints a day. If so, Joshua takes the upper hand, but no, I think Tyson Fury for this fight, for me, I think Tyson Fury absolutely schools him. Out of the two, I don't really mind. I love both fighters so much. I think both of them are amazing boxers, and I think they're both worthy champions. But I think Tyson Fury just takes it easily, really. If he's on his A game and he brings what he did against Wilder, he schools him. I don't know if he does it in the manner he did against Wilder. I think Joshua will be a bit more cautious about that. He'll get himself out of trouble a bit more easily. But Fury, really, if it goes points or it goes late, Fury all day. Does that mean Joshua does not have a chance? No, that does not. Of course he has a chance. He is probably the second hardest hitter in the heavyweight division behind Deontay Wilder. So without a doubt, he 100% can get Fury out of there. He'd get him out early if he wanted to, but his shots are just a little bit too predictable. Fury's just a bit too slick. He's so unpredictable. You can't predict what he's going to do. He can go forward, he can go back. I don't know if Joshua can do either of those. But yes, you can't write off Joshua. If he fights the way he fought maybe Klitschko, or even a more direct way of fighting Andy Ruiz a second time, he could get the job done 100%. Do you think he does it? No. So those are my predictions. Those are my analysis. That's my analysis. Dillian Whyte fight. I think Jake Paul takes Ben Askren on decision, and I think Tyson Fury wins. Either very late or decision. I'm veering towards decision, really. I think as a unification fight, it'll be a bit cagey. But yeah, leave your predictions down below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you want me to do more of this? Do you want me to go back to the football stuff? Is there any more fights you'd like me to cover? Any maybe UFC? Don't know that much about it compared to boxing, but yeah, I can definitely give it a go. If you have enjoyed, please leave a subscribe, leave a like down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.